You know what time it is. I got good news for anyone concerned. This is the same torque wrench, but I figured something out over the weekend. I was bored. No, not really, but these batteries are no good that we had at the shop. See what I'm saying? I tried some Durasols I had at home. The copper top. I dare you to knock it off. Fixed it. It wasn't the torque wrench, so that's pretty cool. How are you doing this morning? You might not be watching this in the morning, but it's morning when I'm filming it. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. We are firing up a day in the shop. It's Monday morning. It's a new week. It's a fresh new start. And we got a lot of vehicles out here. We got to figure out what's going on with some of these monsters. I know we got parts coming for the Volkswagen from last week. Then we got parts coming from the Prius from last week that I didn't film. Project truck sitting out there neglected, needing some love. Someone come help me work on it. Let's knock that thing out. The Vice Grip Garage style collab. We'll do a collab. Quite a few other things out here. The Sport Track's still here. I fixed the oil leaks and stuff on that about, I don't know, been 10 months now. I think he approved us repairing it, but didn't have the money, which is kind of an odd thing to do. I think he's supposed to bring us the title now or something like that. Anywho, hope you're doing well. We're gonna fix cars. We're gonna learn things. We're gonna have fun. Be a little goofy, some sketchy audio, but it's still definitely worth staying tuned because you might be able to hear 80 or 90% of the show. I just got to finish opening up the shop. Oh, by the way, it's like 73 degrees, low humidity. It's really nice out right now. I just want to hang out here. I'll work out here all day today, maybe. We'll see what happens. Of course, this lift is leaking now, so it's going to need some work. We got to do some updates around here, hopefully soon. We'll see. Let's finish up. Let's stop flapping. Finish opening up the shop. See what we can get done today. What do you say? Stay tuned. ...2023 Mazda SUV. I think it's a CX-5. It's 45,000 miles. I love rating a 4. Customer wants front and rear brakes. I said, you know what? I'm the man. I'll do it. Got a wheel lock and everything for it. I didn't have to look. They put it in the pouch. Impressive. Easy brake job. It's about ready for tires too. These brakes are about 3 millimeters. He doesn't need rear brakes yet. I don't know why he wants front and rear, but we'll see what happens. I let him know the rear brakes are good. Sometimes customers say, well, I just want to do them all. But we'll see what happens. I'm waiting on approval. Alright. Take the battery off the charger. It is the 3.0. I don't really want to buy a $200 battery to make this thing more powerful. I just use my half-inch when I need it. I don't know. Am I silly? I am going to go away from the swivel. I see a couple of guys who are sad that I use swivels. They're like, hey, you can't use a swivel. But if you see, you'll see in a later video coming up this week, I use the same swivel on my 3/8, and then I use a half-inch to 3/8 adapter and the same swivel with my mid-torque, and it just barely even ratcheted, popped them right on. Now, that's what I do like about the 3/8 size gun. It's nice and small. It fits in there easy. Back brakes are definitely, front brakes are definitely close. I think we're doing the back too anyway, but we're going to do a pad slap, but we're going to do the rotors too. And a brake flush. see if I can remember all the brake stuff, all the little tricks and techniques I usually show you guys. Let's see if I remember. It's been a while. It hasn't been that long. Just kidding. Let's see if we can get to the, I don't think I can get to the 17 without a swivel of some kind, because the strut's right there. Told you this gun's a beast. I gotta use a swivel on the top. We'll see if it'll do that one. Let's do this. Yeah, probably 100 foot-pounds, 80 foot-pounds, something like that. Parts are on the way. 8x125 bolt. That's a little easier than I thought it was going to be. I probably could have just tapped on it with something. A couple of guys have been turning these pistons back with the electric motors on them, just not even taking them off. I've been taking them off thinking that they might be fragile, I might hurt something. But people are going, no, just turn them in like a regular manual caliper and the motor will just stay in place. You'll turn the piston back. So that's what we're going to try. Parts aren't here yet, so we might as well take the back apart. He wants to do the back too, even though he's got 45,000 on the car. It'll probably go another 45,000. He's like, I do all my brakes at once. Okay. I do them all at once too. How about that? How's about that? Man, that gun's a beast, isn't it? I can't stop myself. It's gonna get worse, don't worry. Because I won't let up. It's like a pit bull when I get a hold of your ankle. Let's try it and see what happens. Be a son of a gun, works like a charm. Look at that. Works like a charm. I don't want to go too far and jam it and have to unthread it. So I'm going to wait and see how much room I need. Definitely not like new, but I think I'd beat the hell out of that horse. Let's see if we can get these caliper bracket bolts off. Oh man, that's nice. Put the sacrificial foot under it. Good thing they're not steel toes. That would have hurt. I'm having fun. I hope you are. They're not as tight as the front. They're also not 17mm bolts. They're 14mm head on. So they're slightly smaller. Just like the front. If Erica was watching, I apologize again. I'm going to call that good. A little bit of future prevention. Just a dab will do you. Where's my parts? I always make sure the hardware is the same width inside and out, same height, nothing really odd's going to go on with it, because on rare occasions it's not right and if something touches and causes grief. We don't want any grief, especially the kind that could be avoided, because this business, especially lately, it's hard enough without adding to it. We spend our day fixing problems, and we spend our day diagnosing defective new parts and things. It's so you definitely want to try to avoid adding to that. I watched a video of Pine Hollow. Ivan at Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics last night, and he was talking about a Subaru some shop had for 6 months trying to figure it out. They finally bought it from the customer because the customer had enough, and they had so much time in it. They put an ECM and all kinds of other things in it. So Ivan went there, put the stock ECM back in it to try to start from scratch and figure out what was going on. Well, it turns out that they caused problems trying to fix some problem. He wasn't clear on what that original problem was, but they put a Dorman crank sensor in it, and the Dorman crank sensor had the pattern backwards. So, the crank sensor pattern was backwards, so somehow the Dorman sensor inverted the signal. And the ECM didn't know what to do, thinking the engine spinning backwards. It was firing the number 2 coil tower twice, and the number 1 coil tower not at all. So the engine would kind of want to start, but not really. Like an engine that has low compression on 2 cylinders when it's a 4-cylinder, basically, is what it sounded like. Very strange, but and Ivan had his scope on it and was looking at all the patterns. He's like, I got crank, I got cam, everything's in sync. Both PCMs do the same thing. He's like, why is this firing this coil like this? So he contacted someone who's a guru with that stuff, even better than him, which I consider Ivan an elite tech. You know, he figures things out. He's so patient. You know, I'm on flat rate, so I don't have nearly the knowledge that he does. So I'm basically hustling and trying to make money my whole career. So the stuff I have learned, I'm mostly self-taught. They don't send you to train. Like, we haven't been to a training class in 5 or 6 years since COVID. So I used to get little refresher classes and go to some training here and there, which was pretty good. But I guess it's been 3 years since the last class I went to was excellent, and the trainer had a book, and I asked him if I could show the book in my videos. He said no. We haven't been to a training class since, coincidentally. Not those names. But anyway, this guy told him the crank pattern on his scope, the way the ramp was coming up and down, was backwards. He said the signal's inverted. So he found a crank sensor in his toolbox, a spare, popped it in there and fired up. Of course, it had so much gas in the cylinders that it took a second to start running good. The fuel trims are way up. The oil probably needed to be changed. They've been cranking it on and off for 6 months trying to get it started. Gas washed. So anyway, that's what we deal with in the aftermarket. A $50 crank sensor made somebody sell their car. They were done with it. $50 part. Trying to do a video on this low profile oil drain Garvey sent to me about 3 weeks ago, but the fitting wasn't right and it leaks. So I told him about the fitting being wrong. It wasn't a pipe thread fitting. It came with a straight threaded fitting instead of pipe thread has a taper to it. So I contacted them about it. They sent me a whole another one. What am I going to do with a spare one? Anybody want it? Come pick it up. Parts are here. That's nice. Probably don't have to do that. It's not even going to go all the way anyway. That's alright. I can put a washer on it if I really need, but these pads are a little bit of a bear, getting them in and out. There's a lot of springs going on. I'll show you what I mean. Got my pad bracket all dressed up. These pads have a big old spring, and there's two big springs here. It's a little bit of a chore. Kidding me? I'm telling you, man. I never exaggerate. I mean, I rarely exaggerate. The inside one, you might be right in my way, but we'll see. Impact fell over. No big deal. These things are
all this stuff that they give, I got this and they gave you this little jack and this little brain. What do you do with it? You take it home?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Unless we need it at the shop.
Huh?
Unless we need it at the shop.
Right, right. Oh, that one is pretty cool.
Yeah, I got two of them.
How much is that?
Probably have to edit most of that cursing out, but you get the idea. It's a pain. I use my pocket screwdriver in between here and try to leverage this spring down. It's a little bit of the arthritis problem, I guess, too, but maybe you young kids, you whippersnappers, that'll pop right in. I don't know. But it seems like a bear for me. A little bit of brake juice. I do have to do a brake flush too real quick when we get done with this before I put the wheels on. Slides are lubricated. Contact points are good. Don't knock that out. Geez, that'll be 10 minutes I'll never get back in my life. 14s all around in the back. If you got a car that's really sensitive with the electronics and a lot of sensors and stuff going on, you probably want to unplug that when you do the repairs I just did. I didn't do that with this car because I noticed it didn't even set the parking brake on its own. When I lifted it up, the tires rolled. I didn't have to undo the parking brake or nothing. But I did take a little bit of a risk you probably shouldn't. If you don't unplug it, it could wind that piston out and drop it on the ground. You'd be sad. Front pads didn't come with hardware, so I cleaned them all up and looby-doobied them real nice. Morning.
That's why I asked you a question.
Those little flats you got to make sure you catch on the slides. There's a little flat that matches in the caliper. I'll make sure you catch those. Everything looks good. Let's start bleeding these brakes. Now we won't run out of brake fluid while we're bleeding. Well, I'll break it loose with the box end first. Now it's going to get noisy. It's gonna sound kind of like the audio in my shorts I've been posting lately. Phil and a lot of the guys have been going, your audio, you're underwater or something? I don't know what happened when I film the videos. Everything's good, I upload them. And something happens to the audio. So I made an experimental video with my camera, with my cell phone, and then with the YouTube upload feature for shorts, and see how the two sound. I don't think it's my phone. But anyway, let's hook up the air and make some noise. We'll go to that fluid, looks a little cleaner. I did suck the old fluid out of the reservoir up top and fill it up with fluid, and then put my bottle on top. We'll have plenty of fluid to do it, get all the wheels nice and clean. This new bleeder pulls fluid like twice as fast as my other bleeder did. Got to pump up my brakes, set my brake fluid level to maximum. We got all new brakes. Maximum line in a reservoir means got new brakes. Minimum line means needs brakes. Have we talked about the fact that you shouldn't top off brake fluid? That's what I'm saying. All that's left now is go seat the pads. You guys remember last time I did a brake job? I might have mentioned that you seat the pads afterwards with 6 to 8 moderate braking stops. That way the customer gets the car back with the brakes feeling normal. Otherwise they feel like they're not quite gripping the first few stops. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's something that you feel where the pads and rotor have no idea. They don't know each other yet, and you got to help them know each other a little better. I think this BMW from last week should be charged. I pushed it up here a few hours ago. Someone was using the big charger, so I got my little Everstart charger on there. It sounds like it has no compression. It's got coolant in it. That's a good sign. I'm going to take a look. Maybe take the cover off and stuff, but we'll see how it sounds cranking on its own battery rather than the jump boxes and stuff. And you guys tell me what you think. Gotta find metal. There's no steel up anywhere. It's all plastic. That doesn't sound good at all. Pull the spark plug out, see if we got any compression. Just want to see if it's fouled or anything weird going on like that. Oh yeah, it's fouled. It's gas fouled. Well, that's no good. Let's put the scanner on it. See if we have any timing codes or anything like that. Could just have 2 or 3 coils not working and it fouled everything out, and now it's been sitting a while, who knows. I think it's a younger man's car from what I understand. Using the K8 Pro from Kingbolen again. Been using it for a while now. It's been a good scanner. Honestly, most of the scanners I use between $250 and $800 are all very similar. Each one will do something a little better, something a little less. The top-down scanner, I really liked, had the topology, which, like I've said a few times, it's not a deal breaker, but it's just nice to have it and see how it's laid out without even having to go up to the computer and research. how it's laid out. But it doesn't help you a lot unless you're doing CAN diagnosis. Anyway, so let this cook. We'll see what kind of codes we got. I'm sure there's quite a few with the battery having been dead. But I want to see codes not related to voltage, like P0011, P0016, timing related codes like that, or spark primary circuit codes for coils and that kind of thing. That went off the rails quickly. The battery's so bad that even charging it for 3 hours, within 5 minutes it was dead again, and my scan tools shut off. So it's so loud. Maybe I'm just too quiet. Let's crank it again, see if it'll crank with the jump box on there. Nope. I gotta turn the jump box on, I think. Oh, this thing's gonna need a battery. The little JC400 can't do it. Trying to force it. There you go. 16.3. That's I ought to try it. It's something. No. Okay. I'm done playing with it. I've had about enough. The Top Down JS3000 got it to crank, but not even 20 pounds of compression. So this thing needs engine work. Something jumped in the timing, I'm guessing. I'll see if he wants to test all the cylinders, but judging by the fact that they're all fouled, I'm gonna say it's Coitens. Customer had a bunch of work done, and the crank pulley came loose. And I tried tightening it up out in the parking lot, and it came loose right away again. So I'm thinking the crank hub might be damaged or something. I don't know. They said, I got you 2 hours to find out. So yeah, take it apart. 1996 Corvette for sale if you're interested. It might need an engine. Cost about what he wants for it, but we'll see what happens. Maybe if he brings me the title, I'll find a way to fix it. That pesky air box out of the way. That is not good. There's a whole bunch of new stuff in there. It says to take the motor mount bolts off. It's been a while since I did one of these. I think I normally take the rack out, but it says remove the motor mount bolts and just raise it up until you can take it out. But I'm looking at the oil sender back here going, well, be careful about it. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. It's right there. What's the big deal, Jimmy? What is the big deal? It's got some sweet long tube stainless headers, eliminated the cats and stuff. Probably not even supposed to work on this engine, but 10.9 on the bolts. Just noticed the washers and stuff stood out to me a little bit. Anywho, focus. Wow. Alright, I guess if I take these mounts out, we'll see how high the engine can go. I don't suspect it'll go very high, but that's what Identifix says to do. I think last time we took the I normally take this oil cooler and the rack and pinion out, but for 2 hours I'm not doing that. Not even that tight, but that's all right. I'm on this back pad, even though the lift's leaking and stuff. It's got safeties, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll add fluid if we have to get it back down. But I'm anticipating it being here with us a little while, but we'll see. You never know. You can speculate all you want. but reality is going to end up winning eventually. I'll unplug the oil center just in case. Man, I don't ain't gonna go up another 5 inches. Well, that was a great idea, but it ain't gonna work. The bolts for the pulley going to the flange are so tight. I put my ratchet and my electric ratchet on there, and I can't hold both and push both to get it loose. They're really tight. So I'm gonna have to lower the rack out of it, I guess. Make it work, that's what I'm saying. Whether that comes out easily or not, but it seems like we're not. Well, that's a power steering cooler. When you're on the Autobahn, your steering starts getting hot. Nobody wants that. You need cool steering, man. That seems unproductive at this point. I wonder if I can get in there with my brute force 3/8 550 pounder. That's a 550 pound tension on that bolt, I'm guessing. Might have mentioned that already once or twice. I'll just keep taking stuff out of my way till I can see the crank pulley. Watch out for dirt. Oh, there it goes. Something happened. We're getting there now. I can see more stuff. You can't take the clamps off the cooler to get it out of your way. They want you to take the lines from wherever they go up to with the cooler out of your way. And one of the lines goes to the rack right here. I might have to take that off. Can't do it without the swivel either. That's a bummer. I'm gonna get a breaker bar or something. Try to wedge something in the crank pulley. I mean, if they'd have tightened the crank hub that much as they tighten the pulley bolts, might not be a problem. See if I can get the mid torque in here. Spoiler, I know I can. I took a bolt out already. Those are the ones that 3/8 couldn't budge. There's 3 of those little guys causing all that trouble. Watch your head. I don't know where the 3rd bolt went, but I got one more to get out. And at least the pulley will be loose. And we can find the 3rd bolt wherever it went. All in that trouble. The little 3/8 gun would have just been able to make 85 foot-pounds. It would have taken it right out. Can't fit the pulley out. I jacked the motor back up. It still doesn't fit out. I don't know what they're talking about. I jacked it till it started lifting the car. If I can, pulley out of the way. So that I can get this out. Not sure if you can see in there. This is not what it's supposed to look like in there. So it's been spinning around on the crank hub. So, and this is a externally balanced balancer. It has a pointer on the pulley. You're supposed to face this where the notch is, and there's a notch on the pulley. You're supposed to have you're supposed to have the engine at cylinder 1 at top dead center. Doesn't matter if it's compression or exhaust, as long as it's a top dead center, the crank's in the right place. This has to line up with that. So we got problems. That's what I thought. That's engine damage. Now this is not going to be easy, but doesn't stop me from trying. See if we can get it to show up on camera, but I don't know if you can see that from where you're at. See that crank snout? It looks the same as the pulley hub. Looks the same as that. So needs an engine. That's what I basically told him. I said there's no point pulling it apart unless he's willing to buy an engine. So maybe he said he was willing to buy an engine. We'll see. He gave me the keys for the Volkswagen and asked him if it was done yet. He just handed me the fuse panel about 15 minutes ago. I got him out 2 tires too. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, we'll do what we can. We're making it work. Now I was hoping it was going to be something a little more complete, but no. So we got to swap over stuff. This is the one that's stripped. See, there's a nut in there, and if you look from the bottom, it just sits in plastic. So as soon as it gets a little loose, it gets a little hot, it ain't coming off. So I'm gonna have to drill this bolt out, unscrew the others, and find a replacement bolt for that. You would think they'd have the bolt in there or something, but they know Jimmy makes it work. That's all that really matters to them. So what I'll probably do is pull these fuses out one by one and install them here one at a time. Of course, I'll disconnect the battery and I'll go grab a drill bit. That wasn't very tight either. Tell you one thing, it looks like these bolts are attached to the cables. I'm guessing they're trapped, like a cage nut kind of thing. That's the only way Volkswagen can make it more interesting. Isn't that cool? You gotta love those guys. Hug a Volkswagen engineer. I mean, hug them a lot. These are all in the same bus bar, even though they'll probably kind of go back and lay in order where they go. Just in case they don't be concerned. I know these 2 big ones going right here because there's a larger post. So now this skips one to the 7.5. Not every location is occupied, so you really got to pay attention. Otherwise you got to tow it up to Ivan at Pine Hollow when you're done, because it doesn't run because the fuse is missing. Like I saw one of his videos, 3 shops couldn't figure it out. Fuse missing. I'm like, some of these shops probably shouldn't be in business. They should be doing quick lube oil changes instead. Oh, wait a second, some of these fuse legs, you know what that means? There's parts that go up and parts that go down, or it's the wrong fuse panel. So I'll leave that one in. Same thing on these 2, there's a fuse leg missing. No fuse was in there. That's missing some stuff too. So I don't know what to... Well, that one I can't mix up, can I? I feel pretty confident with that one. And there's some missing on here too. What the hell? I think oh, you know what? There's wires, individual wires in there. Holy moly, that seems a little crazy for half an hour, doesn't it? A day in the life. It's like General Hospital around here, with all the drama, intrigue, and mystery and suspense. You guys must be loving it, though. That's what really matters to me. Warms my heart to know you're being entertained. Now I could drill this, or I can use a cutoff wheel very carefully. I don't want to cut the cable too much. Doesn't matter if you scratch it a little bit, but you don't want to hog it out. That is interesting that they give you a partial fuse panel. There's ones, the fuses I already put in, the legs are missing on some of those too. Farfignugan. I got drill bits. So much for popping this in really quick. It's the end of the day. I was going to try to mount this in 10 minutes and do the tires tonight. I won't get this done tonight, I hope. I think. That came out wrong. Now it's going to drill into the cable more than the bolt. So I do feel a little better about bringing out my angle grinder. Keep in mind, if you were charging the battery, you would ever want to do that. I can do it because it's been sitting here a while. If you've been charging the battery's gassing off, it's flammable, so the sparks would not be good. If I had any doubt, I would have put a welding blanket over it or something, at least to insulate it a little bit, but basically don't do what I do, that's what I'm saying. Come on, man, there's nothing left now. It's got a freaking pubic hair holding it on. Give me a break. When a repair you're doing doesn't pay well, it totally destroys your motivation. When it's paying good, you're more motivated. You'll actually get a lot more done. It's just, at least that's how it works for me. You guys tell me what you think. Oh my goodness gracious! I gotta look at instructions. I can't figure this out. It's over my head. Pull this up and this slides out from under it. I don't know how they arrive at that working good, but you know, whatever. I think it's all right. It's not terrible. It's not how I would do it. A lot of things in this world aren't the way I would do them. What the heck else is holding it? I don't see any more bolts. You see anything? You know, the wiring harness is tie wrapped to the plastic fuse panel. Oh, there's another one. Let's see it. I gotta get an extension, or I gotta take the battery out maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe this will fit in here. Good idea, Volkswagen. That's sheer perfection the way they did that. What would you want, like 2 bolts on the bottom? I don't know. Hey, we're getting somewhere. Well, now, another dilemma. I gotta make this look like this. There's some more plastic clips. All the wires are separate. There is no connector. Alright, I have to make it easier to get these bus bars out of here and depin it all. I have to pull the fuses out. So to keep them in order, I'm going to put them in here even though there's no bus bars in this fuse panel yet. Skips one. I think I am going to take a picture of this just in case. Sometimes old dogs have to refer back to their video camera too if they need to. So you can always remember that. Remember who told you that one? The problem is the wires seem to block this stuff. I got to take this bolt out of here. That's going to go on there. Me an extra hour, so it's not so bad. Nothing to cry about. Nothing to cry about. There are bolts here, but there are none here. So they must be optional. Maybe it's an updated fuse panel. It won't melt as bad. I'm thinking these are covered so no one tries to connect something to them, or maybe they're for optional accessories or things like that. All the bus bars are in place, so that's... I don't see any that have to be transferred. I thought I was going to have to transfer those too. I've got my D-pin tools. Various sizes. See if this one will do some of them. Whatever one I find will work for most of the small ones. It might be a different size for the larger cables. Every connector, there'll be little openings on the sides, and one of them houses the retainer. The problem is de-pinning. You want to go this way, and the wires that are under you want to put back in first. So you want to take them apart going down and put them back in going up. So we're definitely going to need a photo so I don't have to open my videos. Got new phones on the way, by the way. My wife said you're getting iPhone 17s. Hi, honey. We're getting the new ones. These are 14, so like three versions old. They're gonna give us like $1,000 for these towards the new ones, so they're gonna cost us $3 a month. So I said, okay, why not? That's about it for tonight, guys. I'm just not in the mood, to tell you the truth. So we'll pick up on the Volkswagen tomorrow. We did some brakes today. That was nice. Nothing worth bragging about. Just another one of those days. I hope that I hope you have a great rest of the day. Hope you'll talk the like button before you head out. And more than anything, I hope I see you in another video, because you're awesome.